Are you ready?
What do you guys want to talk about?
Let me talk to you.
Yeah!
It's showtime, folks!
Throwdown Nation, what is going on, people? We are live on a Wednesday evening. It is August 5th, 2026. We are rolling on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and Twitch. It is episode 257 of the Throwdown, and we are the community on the interwebs where we celebrate both the art and the sport of professional wrestling with a strong focus on the indies. We're bringing you engaging and in-depth conversations with the best and the brightest on the indie scene worldwide. I'm your host, Matt, and today we are throwing down with a wrestler based in New York. Welcome with me, the one, the only, the PowerSnake, Sebastian Braun. How you doing, sir?
Oh, I'm doing about as good as I look, which is really good, is it not?
Absolutely, absolutely. And for those of you watching live, let me direct your attention to the ticker that's running on the bottom of the screen. That contains all, or at least most, of Sebastian's social media accounts along with mine. So do us a favor, if you aren't following or subscribed, take the time and go to each of the platforms and do so. It definitely helps both of us. And also,
And you don't regret it either.
Not at all, not at all. It's free, easy, and, and it helps us. And also, for those of you who are watching that may have an interest in the topic area of true crime in general, but specifically right now, the Idaho 4 case, be sure to check out my friend and the rest of the Hive over at Birdie_HiveMind on YouTube. I'm a true crime junkie, and I love the way this guy thinks outside the box and encourages others to do the same. So if you get a chance, definitely go check him out. I'm throwing a QR code up here on the screen. If you scan that, it'll take you right to Birdie's YouTube. And like I said, go over there, give him a follow, give him some love, and, true crime's a lot of fun. Like I said, I'm a bit of a true crime junkie myself. And let me get that off of here and get that. Where did it go? There we go. Aha. Okay. So, and one final thing before we get started, I want to let everyone know if you have a question or comment, you can definitely throw it in the chat, or if you're feeling brave and you want to actually ask your question or make your comment in person, you can use the QR code that's on the bottom of the screen there. And that will allow you to actually come on the show and talk with us and make your comment or your question in person. The call-in feature is audio only, and all we ask is that you mute any background audio and be at least reasonably civil in your conversation. So we'll go ahead and get started finally with the first and really the most obvious question, and that is, how long have you been wrestling?
Well, in front of a crowd, I've been wrestling since 2017, so that would be roughly 9 going on 10 years. But if you include my training, I've been wrestling since 2013, making this about 13 years I've been doing this.
Gotcha. So who actually trained you?
I was actually trained by a lot of people. My first trainer went by the ring name Blackjack Phoenix. He was very old school in a sense that he would accept a lot of people, but he wanted to see if you really had what it took to be a part of wrestling, if you really had the toughness to be a part of wrestling. And then after I was trained with him, I trained with him for like 3 years. And then I went to Rochester, New York, and I trained under Colin Delaney and Mark House. And those guys really helped sharpen my skills. Mark House helped me a lot with my promos. He helped me be able to talk better. And Colin helped get me in shape. Well, Mark House did that too. They both helped me get in better shape, in ring shape. And they both helped me with basically more the inner workings of what goes inside wrestling. And I also trained with a guy known as Pepper Parks on the Indies. He currently wrestles under the name The Blade. He was recently a part of All Elite Wrestling for a while. And I trained under him for a while. And I also took 2 what they call super camps. They were basically like 3-day seminars at the world famous Monster Factory in Paulsboro, New Jersey.
Nice. So I've
basically been trained by a lot of people.
I was going to say, you've had a veritable forest of learning trees to sit under.
Yes, I have.
So in the early stages of your wrestling training, what would you say was the most challenging aspect of professional wrestling for you to wrap your mind and body around, and what would you say surprised you the most?
Outside of the normal, like the physical stuff of wrestling, what really was hard for me to grasp was becoming confident with your gimmick, your persona, and how to exacerbate it. Basically, being able to talk was something that was really hard for me to grasp, because I can talk with a lot of people, but for a while I was very not camera shy, but I was very timid with certain things. And in wrestling, my trainers told me, look, if you really want to do this, like, you have to be able to talk. They're like, right. You have to be able to present yourself. You have to be able to convey who you are. Because, like, if you just show up there and talk, say, hi, my name is this, I'm wrestling on this day, be there. Like, nobody's going to care.
Right. So, did you come to professional wrestling with a previous athletic or other type of martial arts background? Had you done other sports? Any other kind of combat sport?
I have on and off. When I was a little kid, I did football for a little bit, and I stopped doing it because we had, and this game really sticks in my mind because of what happened. And it was the last game of the season, and I was on defense. The kid catches the ball, and right as he caught it, I plowed into him, and I either, because I don't know for sure, I either bruised or I broke a couple ribs on him when I hit him.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And when I saw how much pain he was in, I literally just looked at him, and I'm like, once this game is done, I'm not playing this again. I don't want to do this. And yeah. I tried to test the waters when I was in middle school. In 8th grade, I tried out for the school football team. And as we were getting close to like our first ever game of the season, I started getting flashbacks of when I broke that one kid's ribs, and I'm like, I can't do it. And a lot of people were saying to me, "Oh, you should be a football player. You should be like a boxer." I'm like, I don't want to do football and boxing. I take a lot of pride in my appearance. If I'm a boxer, forget that.
Yeah. Yeah. It takes a special person to get legitimately hit in the face and keep going. I mean,
Oh yeah. Oh,
You know?
you either have to be impervious to pain, or you have to be completely out of your mind.
yeah, pretty much.
But
pretty
I also
much.
did amateur wrestling. But another thing that I did was I've done amateur wrestling before. I've done collegiate wrestling,
Okay.
just like here and there. It was really just here and there, just something to do. And I don't know, just professional wrestling is just more fun. Because like I would do collegiate wrestling, and I'm like, it's good workout, it's good cardio, it's good real test of strength. But I'm like, this is kind of boring.
Yeah.
Like I still have a lot of respect for collegiate wrestling. I'm not taking anything away from them,
Oh, yeah.
but it's just being there and doing it. I'm like, pro wrestling's more fun.
Absolutely. So, looking over at the Instagram chat, we've got a few people already pulling in to join us. Actually, two people from the Northern California area. A previous guest, Big Pusha, Elliot Ray, is hanging out, and then we've also got a local super fan in that area, 209 Loca. She's actually coming on in the near future for a Superfan Spotlight episode, so definitely looking
pretty
forward
cool.
to having her on and hearing her story. So I'm presuming that you've been at least a fan of this stuff the majority of your life. Is that pretty accurate?
That's very accurate. I've been
What
a fan
would
of
you
professional
say
wrestling.
is...
Oh, go ahead.
No, you were starting to explain. I interrupted you, so go ahead.
Well, I've been a fan of professional wrestling since I was like 3 or 4 years old. So it's been a big part of my life.
Got you. What would you say is your earliest wrestling-related memory?
My first exposure to pro wrestling will always be in my mind. I'll never forget it. It was WrestleMania 20, and a friend of my father's was having a WrestleMania party, and he said, "Hey, can I bring my kids over? They really like wrestling. They watch it here and there, but like, do you think they can come and watch the show?" And he goes, "Absolutely." So we go to the party, and the minute I saw wrestling, I literally, somebody could have fired a shotgun. I wouldn't have noticed. I was just so in tune with what was going on with the wrestling match. And I'll never forget the first match that I saw that really got me hooked as a fan. It was Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg with Stone Cold Steve Austin as a special guest referee. And
Nice.
a lot of people have said to me, like, "Oh, really? You like that match?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, that was the first exposure I had to wrestling. I go, I had no issues with that match. And
Yeah, well, especially when you're a little kid. I mean, you
of
know.
course, that's what I told him. I'm like, guys, I was 4 years old. And I go, I wasn't looking at it like from the inner workings of the business. I was looking at it as, okay, there are these two guys who are going to beat the heck out of each other. Okay, you have my attention.
Absolutely.
I go, that's just how I look at it.
Yeah. What was the first live show that you went to as a fan?
Oh, man. I've been to so many shows. I saw SummerSlam when they were in Buffalo in the early 2000s. I also went to a few. There was only one local independent wrestling promotion that I went to, which is when I realized, wow, they have like stuff like locally. This is great.
Yeah.
It's a promotion called Empire State Wrestling. That was the first local independent company that I've seen, And because I always thought, oh, if it's not a company on television, then there's no such thing as independent wrestling. Like I didn't know what independent wrestling at the time until I went to ESW the first time, and I'm like, wow, they have like local wrestling? Really? This is what they have all over the place? And then it snowballed from there. Then I was told, yeah, there's this promotion here. There's like 16 promotions out of the state of Ohio. I'm just throwing a random number. I don't know how many there are. Or there's 12 good promotions in the state of Georgia. There's 5 companies that you could wrestle for in the Carolinas. There's 20 promotions in California. So I was like, wow, there's really a lot of places to wrestle.
Yeah. Yeah, the rise of the indies has just brought so much opportunity, and so many people are kind of following Matt Cardona's blueprint and are actually able to make a good living as an independent wrestler. So it's definitely an exciting time for.
I've always said the wrestling business nowadays is I've heard stories of how it used to be, like, oh, wrestling promotions don't pay people, or oh, you'll be promised this amount, but you'll get half of that, or you'll get like 1/10 of that. And I heard that, and I was thinking to myself, man, you really had to be tough to survive in this, or some people would probably say it's not worth it.
Yeah, I mean, back in the day, the old adage of the hot dog and the handshake sometimes was a real thing.
Yeah. And I'm really fortunate. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. Go ahead.
So, like, I can say I'm really fortunate
fortunate
that I got involved in wrestling. Yeah, I'm fortunate that I got in wrestling when I did, because when I first started, I was never paid. And of course, me being 18 years old, I was like, okay, I get to get in the ring, though, so that's going to be great. I'm enjoying that. So for a while, it didn't bother me. And that's when it clicked of what happened in the indies during like the 90s, when people, or like back when indies were really struggling and everybody was like, oh, like nobody got paid. I'm like, yeah, but people that are just starting, they really got to see what it was like. And so like I understood why it was like that, but if it happened to people who've been wrestling for like a long period of time, or have had so many matches in the years that they've wrestled, and they're not getting anything, that would kind of annoy me.
For sure. So the physical side of this is all obviously extremely important. So tell us a bit about your gym routine, and in your mind, what would you say are the most crucial exercise or group of exercises that you employ to keep in ring shape?
It's a very difficult question to answer, only because the way I work out is I do a lot mostly calisthenics, or I'll do like just body weights exercises. Like I'll do free squats, I'll do push-ups, I'll hold a plank, because I don't trust doing crunches because I've had problems with my lower back for a while, so I won't do crunch. I won't do crunches too much. But another thing that I do is you probably know this. I do a lot of DDP yoga to help keep my mobility. Because there were times where I would get to a show and I'm like as stiff as a board. It's hard for me to move, and I started doing DDP yoga, and all of a sudden I'm more limber, I'm more agile, and it's actually helped me drop a couple pounds, and it's helped me be more flexible. So it's really beneficial. You definitely want to keep mobility with this. And people say, oh, it's strength training that matters. Well, that's only part of it. You need good conditioning. You have to be, because you'll never know.
Yep.
You could have a match that's supposed to go 5 minutes, or you could be in a match that's supposed to go a half an hour. You don't know.
Yep.
Or there'll be times where you'll be planned for 5 minutes, and they'll say, "Hey, these matches end early, so you got an extra 7 minutes." It's like, okay, well, now you got to fill a total of 12 minutes, so you have to be prepared, and you have to be prepared physically to be able to handle that. And it's not impossible, but it definitely is strenuous sometimes.
Absolutely. And, you were mentioning DDP yoga. Interestingly enough, I had a guy on the show a while back. He's actually a deathmatch wrestler down here in Atlanta by the name of Nathan Mowry.
Okay.
And he is actually one of Diamond Dallas Page's video editors,
Really?
as his day job. Yeah, and he was also involved in the making of the Jake the Snake Roberts documentary.
That is awesome.
A while back. Yeah. Sometimes, pro wrestling is at the same time a huge world and a very small world. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
it truly is. It truly is. So before we move on from gym routine and all of that, what is your favorite guilty pleasure cheat day snack?
Either almost anything Italian, pizza, pasta, anything like that. That is usually my guilty pleasure. And
Gotcha.
And of course, you can't stay away from it. It's very well. You can, but it's very difficult to. I also am a very big ice cream eater, but like I always prefer mine if it has more like a creamy texture to it, because that to me it has more flavor instead of more like a gritty flavor, because that means there's more sugar in it, versus the creamier texture has more I think more fat content, which is what gives it that smooth texture when you're eating it.
Gotcha. What's your ice cream flavor of choice? What?
Just about anything.
Gotcha.
Really, just about anything.
So, away from wrestling, what are some of your hobbies and interests? What do you like to do with whatever spare time you might have?
Well, I will say there's really not a whole lot. Wrestling is a big part of my life, but I also watch a lot of, like you were talking about, true crime. I watch a lot of old TV shows like that, because it is kind of interesting how that stuff works. How
it is.
How they're able to like solve crimes that happened. I'm also a huge fan of the TV show Forged in Fire on the History Channel.
Okay.
I'm also really impressed with how they can take any piece of metal and turn it into a blade. It's phenomenal. I'm also big into video games too. I played one of my favorite game series is Assassin's Creed.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also a huge fan of the DC universe. Like one of my all-time favorite villains is the Joker.
Oh yeah.
And my other favorite, he's like right tied with the Joker, would have to be Two-Face.
Yeah. I have always been, really ever since I was a kid, I have always dug Batman and all of the villains associated with Batman. And the thing about Batman that I love is he doesn't have powers. He's just a guy that has trained his body,
Trained his body, trained his mind.
Yep, absolutely. So, we'll be getting into this later in the show, but something that we've done in all of these is we have a segment where we let the current guest ask a question for the next guest, And one of my recent guests asked such a cool question that I've actually just incorporated it into my permanent repertoire here. So the question that this guy posed is, if your wrestling career could be summed up in a movie, what movie would it be?
That's actually a really good question. Could be summed up in a movie. Wow. There are a lot of movies that I think could help describe my wrestling career. One of them would have to be The Princess Bride. Just because
Gotcha.
it starts off with introducing somebody who was just a poor peasant guy. He then changes and becomes a pirate. And then he finds the woman that he's met when he was a peasant. And in a way that kind of describes what I am with wrestling. I got into wrestling. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I should be. I'm just okay, I'm just Sebastian Braun. I'm the big guy. But then I have to go somewhere and become something completely different. Just like with wrestling, I had to go away for a little bit and reinvent myself to get something that can be that's more entertaining and something that people can enjoy seeing or maybe interested to come and see.
Got you.
And it's pretty much First Princess Bride, in a sense.
Absolutely. So, just a reminder for those of you watching live, if you have a question or comment and you're feeling brave, scan the QR code and you can come on with us, audio only, and ask your comment or ask your question or make your comment. And, if you do, just mute your background audio and be at least reasonably listening. What person inspires you the most and why?
The person that really inspires me the most, really, it'd have to be my dad. He deals with lower back pain, and he just perseveres through it. He can do so much, and I really think that it was dealing with him. My father's a chiropractor, and he, through his entire life, for a long time, he was told, "Oh, you won't be a chiropractor. You're not smart enough to be a chiropractor." And my dad was like, "Well, we'll see about that." And he's been in practice for almost 30 years.
That's awesome.
And I've taken that as, you know what, that's some way I should be. Because I've had times where I've wanted to hang up my boots. I've had times where I'm like, you know what, I don't know if I should do this anymore. And then I see some of the things that's happened with my father, and I'm like, you know what, he stuck through this to be a chiropractor. Maybe I should do the same thing to be a wrestler. I think that'll be worth it.
Absolutely. So, during the introduction, we were mentioning that you're from New York, specifically the Buffalo area. What is your favorite thing about Buffalo?
Just about everything, because Buffalo's it's where I've grown up. So it's people say, "Oh, Buffalo has this, Buffalo has that." I'm like, you didn't know that? We have something in the town that I live in. I live in the town of Lancaster. It's just outside of Buffalo. We have something on the 4th of July called the Lancaster Beer Tent. There are people who are like, "Wow, you actually have something like that?" And I go, "You didn't know that?" I'm like, that's a big thing in our town. Or they have such an atmosphere, for sports, like the Buffalo Bills. I will say that the it's actually called something different. We call it the Bills Mafia. Those fans are diehard fans of the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo fans are diehard fans of the Sabres, the hockey team from here.
Yep.
And it's kind of the same with wrestling. They're not just fans of, oh, I'm a fan of wrestler A, and if he's not at the show, well, I don't want to go. No, they're like, oh, wrestling is coming to town. Oh, let's go and take a look. Let's see what they got. There was a time I went to Monday Night Raw, and an announcement was made that John Cena couldn't be there. He had something was going on. I don't know if it was like a prior engagement or an emergency happened. I don't know what the story behind it was, but they said that if anyone wants refunds, we're offering them. Nobody left the building. Everybody stayed.
That's a good, yeah. That says a lot about the people.
Mm-hmm. They definitely like wrestling instead of just, oh, I like this superstar, or oh, I like this wrestler. Yeah. They're just like, hey, this is awesome. This is like, that's why I really agreed with a lot of the fans of like ECW. They liked wrestling, but they liked the promotion. They were happy because they're like, oh, ECW's in town. Oh, let's go see ECW. People don't say, oh, let's go see Raven. Let's go see the Sandman. Let's go see John Cena.
Tommy Dreamer. Yeah,
Tommy Dreamer. They're like, let's go see ECW. They care about the promotion itself. They don't care about just seeing one particular wrestler.
Right. And, while we're kind of on that topic, something that has really arisen to within the past few years to a level that I had never really seen it previously, and I just hate it, is wrestling tribalism, where people are actively pulling for a promotion to fail. I mean, if something is not your cup of tea, don't watch it, but don't pull for any promotion to fail, because all that does is just take away places for people to work, ply their craft, and potentially become the next big thing.
Yeah, and a perfect example of that.
But like there are. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, a perfect example of that is is of people saying, "Oh, Game Changer Wrestling should close down," or "Oh, Combat Zone Wrestling should close down." Like, look, if it's not your cup of tea, just, like that type of wrestling, I'm not exactly a diehard fan of, but I'm like, hey, but I've always said if you're into that, if that's your niche, have at it, enjoy it.
Exactly.
That's how I've always looked at it. It's like what you asked me earlier, my favorite flavor of ice cream, and I said just about any flavor.
Yeah.
That's what wrestling
is. Yep.
You can have any flavor ice cream, any style of wrestling.
Yeah. And I feel like right now there is a style or flavor of wrestling to suit just about anybody. You might have to look for it, but it's out there. Yeah.
But people can like comedy wrestling. People can like the technical aspect of wrestling. They could like just pure wrestling. Some people like luchador wrestling, lucha libre wrestling, all flips and tricks. People like hardcore wrestling, deathmatch wrestling. So there's many different styles of it. So it's like, you shouldn't say, oh, this company should fail or that company shouldn't be in business. If it's not your style of wrestling, don't go to it.
Exactly, but don't root for it to fail. I mean,
because what all that's going to do is that kind of makes you look like a bad person, and it's like you're going to put a lot of people out of work, and like I also get the flip side of that. Some of the people that wrestle in promotions like that, some of them say, "Oh, they're not the best talent. They're this or they're that. They lack this." That's just because they don't fit your style that you like.
Exactly. Yeah, and
say,
you know, I mean,
look at Nick Gage.
Everybody's I mean, you know, definitely not everybody's cup of tea. But I mean,
Exactly.
you know, he's done a lot for the business, you know, and you know,
He found his niche.
Yeah, he did. He did. So, you know, they say that the best wrestling personas are usually kind of yourself turned up to 11. So, kind of tell us a bit about in-ring Sebastian Braun. Tell us about the PowerSnake, and kind of compare and contrast him with everyday you.
So in ring, the PowerSnake Sebastian Braun, he's more cocky and arrogant. Because like the way that I'll talk, like when I have my championship with me, the way that I talk is I'll go, here's the way I look at it. I'm the champion, you're not. I'm better looking, you're not. I'm hotter than her ex, better than her next. You're not. So basically,
Love it.
I'm more narcissistic. I come out to the ring wearing either like a button-up shirt like this, or I wear a double-breasted steampunk vest with an ascot. And
Love it.
And I also come to the ring with a heart-shaped mirror. And I'll also wear tearaway pants. So once I get in the ring, I do like my hip swivel, and I move my hands down to my tearaways, and I rip them, and it gets a reaction every time.
I'm sure.
But me outside of the ring, yeah, well, to a degree, people say I can be a narcissist. I look at it as I'm just confident with who I am and what I do. And like some people say, yeah, you live your gimmick too much. I'm like, I wouldn't say I live it too much. It's more of when I'm in the ring, I turn it up. I turn it up as loud as I can. But my in-ring Sebastian Braun versus outside the ring Sebastian Braun, there's very, very little difference except how much of it I personify.
Gotcha. So, in-ring is basically a highly embellished.
Pretty much.
Gotcha.
Like the one thing that definitely stays the same with myself is definitely my hair, because like outside the ring and inside the ring, I take great pride in my appearance, and I always like want to make sure I'm like, okay, because like I don't like going outside or out in public and I look like I just got struck by a bolt of lightning. Like my hair is like all over the place and it looks terrible. That would be the only thing that stays the same through both sides of it. Is my it's not an OCD of it, but I'm very what's the word I'm looking for? I'm very meticulous about my hair, about my appearance.
Gotcha. So over the 13 years roughly that you've been doing this, if you can narrow it down, what has been your favorite match that you have been a part of?
Actually, there are a lot of matches that I really enjoyed. I had one back in 2019. I wrestled a guy named Daniel Garcia. He's currently with All Elite Wrestling.
Oh yeah.
I wrestled him. I actually trained with him as well. Him and I've wrestled each other. They were always fun. I also wrestled Mr. Anderson, which was the night that I won this. And it was actually the one that was played in the little highlight reel at the start of this, where I like kicked him right in the groin and then I hit him with my discus. That was a good match. And just recently I wrestled Chris Masters. And
nice.
that to me was also a lot of fun. So those are some of the matches that stuck out to me. Because they really meant a lot.
Gotcha. Yeah, as I recall, Danny Garcia is from your area, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like he is on the precipice of really moving into a different level. I could see him hopefully within the next year or two starting to do some main eventing.
Oh yeah, Danny is a phenomenal talent. Him and I, we've had good matches the times that we've wrestled each other, and I always enjoy being around Danny. He's always been super cool with me. So yeah, Danny I know is a phenomenal talent, and he definitely worked for it.
Absolutely. So, you've been doing this long enough that I'm sure you've developed at least a few of these. So what would you say is your biggest wrestling-related pet peeve?
Oh, man. I would have to say people who, like, it's not that they take wrestling too seriously, but they look at it as, oh, well, I shouldn't have to sell this or I shouldn't have to sell that. Well, no, you should. Because, like, I've dealt with people who they sell in the match, but yet you see them either during intermission or you see them after the show and they're walking around like nothing happened. It's like, dude, the guy just beat you with a steel chair. He just slammed you through a table. He put you in a figure 4 leg lock around the post.
Yeah. And you're walking around like nothing happened.
Yeah, it's like, really? And like you literally just destroyed your opponent's credibility and your credibility.
Yep.
So that is one issue that I've always had. That's one issue that I've always had. Another one is like, and this is just a personal thing. I've always said your gear, like everybody's gear, not only does it have to match your persona, but the whole thing just has to flow. It has to look like, okay, that matches everything. Like the gear that I wear a pair of trunks, I have knee pads, and I wear long black boots that have my moniker, PowerSnake, written down the side of them. Yeah. That fits with who I am. I am my persona is I am an embellished narcissist. Why would I not have my name or my moniker written on my gear?
Exactly. I mean, it fits the character and it emphasizes the attributes of the character.
Like I've seen people, their wrestling gear is they just got either just a singlet that you found at a athletic store, and they got a pair of like mat shoes, and they say, "Oh, I'm a wrestler." No, you're not.
No.
And some people make it work. Sometimes it does work. Like John Cena got away with wearing cargo shorts and sneakers because when he was like the king of thugonomics, that's how like somebody like that would dress.
Yeah.
Or like Rick Rude. He always said like he has a sexy body, and he would always like be like flexing his biceps. So he wore just tights and boots. Yeah, and he wore like the flashy robe because that was the narcissism that he had. That was his arrogance. Yeah, like the big boss man. He dressed like a corrections officer. You wouldn't see him dressing. You wouldn't see the big boss man dressing in a singlet and just a pair of wrestling boots. No, it's like that. It's like that doesn't match. And that also comes with like everything. It has to be your gear. It has to be even all the way down to your entrance music. everything has to fit.
Yep.
One way or another, like the whatever music that you have, if it's like an actual song, the song itself doesn't have anything to do with the music, but like they hear it, they can say, "Oh, that's this person," and the beat of the song, the rhythm of it, fits you. Could be anything. Like I thought of coming out to a song by a band I listen heavily to. It's called Rush.
Yeah,
they're from Canada.
Yeah.
I thought of coming out to Rush at one point.
What song?
I was going to use either the song "The Big Money" or I was going to use "Limelight."
Nice.
And they would have been great. But I was talking with somebody and they said the problem is they're like, you may know the reason behind you using it, but the fans don't.
Yeah.
Like, because like I was trying to be this, not really a cocky and arrogant, but I was trying to be like this like big tough guy. And listening to The Big Money and Limelight, they don't portray the toughness. And like currently right now, I used the song "Holy Water" by Bad Company because it has that like cool blues rock and roll beat to it that really fit with it. And I also use a song that my brother wrote. My brother's a musician, and the way it plays, it fits with like the whole narcissism because like you hear it playing, and people will go, "Oh God, this guy's coming out," because usually I'm the one people hate. It's more fun. And
for sure.
But yeah, back to like the main thing I was trying to say. But the main thing I was trying to say is it had to fit. Like you wouldn't see me wearing, because I'm a guy who thinks I'm like a bit of a sex symbol too. You wouldn't see me wearing like a full jumpsuit because that doesn't work. Just like you wouldn't see
exactly. You know.
Yeah, just everything has to match, and selling is probably one of the most important things that a lot of people just don't do. And I watch it all the time, and I'm like, you're not doing it. Ugh, it's just something that really just bothers me when people don't sell right.
Gotcha. So,
but yeah, those are the two big peeves that I have.
Gotcha.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, so do you have an all-time favorite match as a fan? Is there a match or matches that are near and dear to your heart that you find yourself circling back to?
The one match that I really liked has to be Razor Ramon versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania in that Intercontinental title ladder match.
Yeah.
That was a match. It's phenomenal. That's a match that I really enjoyed. I also liked watching some of the matches of Bret Hart against Owen Hart.
Yep.
Because I mean, who can't relate to one brother trying to outdo the other one?
Yep. That's a tale as old as time.
Yeah. But yeah, matches like that that stuck out in my mind. Like most of the matches at WrestleMania with The Undertaker. A lot of people say, "Oh, that match with The Undertaker against The Undertaker was terrible," or "Oh, that match was this," or "That match was whatever." I'm like, so?
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. That's all that matters to me. I enjoyed it.
Yep. Everybody's got their taste. So. Mm-hmm. So, this is one of these questions that the answer can literally almost change moment to moment, hour to hour, day to day. But in your opinion, at this very moment, who are the best male and best female wrestlers in the world? Who is the best man and who's the best woman?
That's a tough one to say.
It is. Yeah, there are so many good ones.
I guess the way, because I look at it from a different point of view. And let me turn on a light. There we go. That's better. But like, I would say really look at who draws money. Guys like CM Punk draws money for WWE. Guys like MJF does that for AEW. People like the Briscoe brothers when they were really hot in Ring of Honor before they got bought out by AEW.
Yeah,
they were one of the best tag teams. So it really, I would look at it as who can draw the most money, who gets people to buy tickets to the show. Matt Cardona was one of the best on the indies. Not saying that he's still not, but
right.
Who's some other ones? Like, and again, it really depends on what your niche is. Because, like, if people say, "Oh, I go over wrestling to see the technical aspect of it," okay, that would be your wrestlers like Bryan Danielson, or back in the early '90s, Bret Hart, Dan the Beast Severn, people like that. People who said, "Oh, I'm more of like the gimmicks." Okay, then you got people like the Vaudevillains in NXT when they were a team. You got like the Lucha Brothers, Penta and Rey Fenix.
Yeah.
You got, or they say, I like people that can talk. Okay, then you got guys like and again, MJF is another one. He's great at talking. You got guys like The Rock. So it really depends. So again, it really depends on your niche, and it depends on what would make you want to spend money to see him. That to me is what can make a good wrestler. And I couldn't say, oh, this one person is the one that's, if he's on the show, no matter what promotion it is, you'll draw money. Well, take him to a GCW show. Those people like seeing wrestling, but they also like seeing violence. If he's somebody that doesn't do any of that, what use is he?
Exactly. So, and this can be present day or past. Who would be a dream opponent? Who would the PowerSnake love to have the opportunity to share a ring with?
Oh, man. I would definitely, one of the people I would love to share the ring with would have to be a guy like Tommy Dreamer. I would love to share the ring with, I would love to share the ring again with Garcia. Like nowadays, just to see what him and I could do.
Yeah.
I would love to wrestle one of my trainers. I would like to wrestle either actually any of my trainers. I would love to share the ring with them to see if I'm actually got their approval of, yeah, you are as good as you say you are. Not that they don't think I'm good, but it's just student versus the teacher. Let's see what we can do. So those are some of the people I would like to wrestle. It's either some of my trainers or some of the people that I thought it would just be really cool to wrestle.
Yeah, yeah. You know, a match that you were talking about Danny Garcia. A match I would love to see happen, and it may have happened on the Indies. I'm not sure, but I would love to see Danny Garcia have a match or even a series of matches with Wheeler Yuta. I think those two could really put on some good matches.
I think that has happened already on the independents. I think they have. I know they have wrestled each other before. I'm not 100%. I'm not 100% positive where though, but I know they have wrestled each other.
Gotcha. Like I said, I think it would be fun to actually see it on AEW. So.
Oh yeah, see that in AEW? Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, what is your favorite move? What is something you just really enjoy doing? And then on the flip side of that, is there a move that you won't do or you would at least rather not do, and that can be giving or receiving?
My favorite move to do is either a fisherman suplex or what my finisher is. I call it the Nausicus. It's the discus clothesline that I do. Just because the fisherman suplex, I actually can bridge off of it. Not like Mr. Perfect, where like I can be standing up and then I hit the guy and I automatically bridge into it. But to me, those moves the fisherman suplex gives a little bit of showmanship when I hit the bridge with it, and the discus just gives me that like power of like, oh, he hit him with that move. Okay, the match is over. When it comes to moves that I won't take, the one move that I to this day I do not want to take it. It's called a butterfly suplex.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the double underhook.
Yeah, your arms are pinned behind your back. Only reason that I won't take that is when I was first training, somebody gave me that move, and I screwed up my right shoulder. I injured my right shoulder doing that, and doctors told me that you're going to make a full recovery, but if you take that move again and you hurt yourself, you can't wrestle. That basically told me, done with that move.
Yep. So you've been doing this, like I said, 13 years, so I'm sure this applies to one degree or another. So I'll ask you what hurts right now. Or maybe should I ask what doesn't hurt?
What doesn't hurt are my clothes. But no, it's really just my back that gives me problems. But I've also had back pain for a long time. And I know where the second question is going is like, what was my worst injury, correct?
Well, it was, what is the worst bump you have taken?
I have taken a superplex, which wasn't terrible, but there are some rings that I wouldn't feel comfortable taking a shoulder tackle in because they're like a boxing ring. They're stiff.
Yeah.
But yeah, the worst bump I've taken again was when I screwed up my shoulder, taking the butterfly suplex.
Gotcha.
So that's the one I won't do.
Gotcha. So, knowing everything you know at this point in your life, at the ripe old age of 27, if you could give any advice to your younger self, what would it be?
There are times where you can be, like where you can be like a bit of a smart aleck, like in a comedic sense, like you make people laugh. And there's times where, all right, we got to get ready. We got to start doing this. We got to take this is now. All right, get your game face on and get yourself set up for your match. And I would also tell my younger self, take care of your body. Don't agree to any and every crazy stunt that people want to do in the match.
Absolutely, because your bump card is only so big.
Yep.
So, do you have any pre-show traditions? Any things that you do consistently before you walk through the curtain?
This I do just because it's a paranoia. I always make sure that I use the restroom before I wrestle. And one thing I will not eat before a match, only because I get a nervous stomach, and I'm like, okay, if I start eating something like 2 hours before the show, about 10 minutes before I have to go out, I'm going to have to say, where's the bathroom?
Yep.
So, like,
have you ever crapped yourself in a match?
No. Thankfully, that has never happened. I can say that with full confidence. That has never happened, and
you're taking every step to make sure that it never happens.
Exactly. That's why I said I don't eat. I don't eat a whole lot before a match. Like maybe like a protein bar, or I'll eat like a sandwich.
Yeah.
Anything more than that, because like I used to go, like before, like there were times before a match, I would go and I would like binge on like tacos, or I would go and I'd binge on I would make scrambled eggs at home. I would make steak and eggs, and I'd put jalapenos in the eggs.
You were flirting with disaster.
Exactly.
Wow.
And then the one time I was doing that, I was talking with my dad, and I was about to cook. Okay, he goes, "Are you wrestling tonight?" "Yeah, I just want to eat something." He goes, "Well, if you're gonna make that," he goes, "do not put the jalapenos in it." I go, "Why?" He looks at me and says, "You got to wrestle tonight." He goes, "You take one wrong move." He goes, "You land on your stomach." He goes, "You land on your back hard enough." He goes, "You're going to regret that." And I look at him and I go, "Point taken."
Wise words.
Oh, yeah. Very wise words.
Yeah. So, give us a quick rundown of your gear bag. What all do you carry in your gear, and do you carry anything unique or unusual?
In my gear bag, I'll have my wrestling boots, which they're just plain black leather boots. Again, and in silver patent leather, you have the word PowerSnake written down the outsides of them.
Yeah.
I have my knee pads. I have 2 sets of knee pads. I also have my entrance vest. I have my tearaway pants. I have one of my heart-shaped mirror. It has like a little rope attached to it, so I hang that on the outside of my bag. I have my wrist tape, and I have a little under wrap that I put on before I put the tape on, because I don't know if you can see, I have hair on my wrists, and there are times where I would pull the tape off and I have to count.
Oh, yeah.
Yank. I also have a spray bottle of water, and I have a bottle of leave-in hair conditioner, because I'll run that through my hair, and it gives me that slick back, wet look.
Gotcha. So, as I mentioned earlier, something that we've done in all of these that's just been kind of fun is we've let the current guest pose a question for the next guest. My previous guest was a wrestler based actually down here in Georgia by the name of CJ Montana. And the question that he asked is, what is your end goal in wrestling?
My end goal is I just want to make a living doing this. And if that means, and like some people say, my end goal is to make it to the big leagues, which that is, I guess I could say that is my end goal. I basically want to be in a position where I can I can make a living doing this. Whether that be
Gotcha.
making it to the big leagues, getting signed to AEW, WWE, Ring of Honor, NWA, anything like that.
Gotcha. So since this is part of a series, do you have a question you would like to ask the next guest?
Well, to piggyback off of the one you asked me earlier, what song do you think would describe your wrestling career?
Ooh, I like that. How would you answer that?
Mine would be the song "Limelight" by Rush. You listen to the words and the story that the song tells. It basically does describe as somebody in the wrestling business. You're living on a lighted stage, and living on that approaches
the unreal.
The unreal. For those who, and it says for those who think and feel in touch with some reality. That's basically a wrestler. Or they say, all the world's indeed a stage. We're merely the players, the performers.
We're players, yeah. Yep. Yeah, I had never really thought about it from the perspective of a wrestler, but yeah, what a perfect all-encompassing song about a wrestling career.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Very cool.
Thank you.
So, during his farewell tour, John Cena kept bringing up the concept of leaving wrestling better than he found it. And that really resonated with me, and I just thought, well, what a cool thing to strive for. So, I've kind of incorporated that into my repertoire. So, you're still a long way from the end of your career. But what do you hope to do to ultimately leave wrestling better than you found it?
I would say try to get, when I'm reaching the end of my career, I want to make sure there's somebody that can become kind of almost just make somebody be more willing to help younger talent. When I'm on my way up, it was very difficult to get somewhere like that, because so many people say, "Oh, I want to be this guy. I'm clean and clutch to be the top guy, be the champion," and I'm just I heard this in a documentary about ECW. Paul Heyman was saying, he goes, "You may clean and clutch to that, but what are you going to do when your career is over?" He goes, you kind of have to have a sense of, we got to get the next generation of stars. You got to give them that platform. You got to give them the platform to have a legacy to leave behind. Because if you leave this business, but you left it, "Oh, I'm the top guy," well, what does that do for the person who's supposed to be coming up as the next top guy? How would that have worked with Hogan and Andre at WrestleMania 3?
Exactly. Yep.
How would that have worked for Roman Reigns after he beat The Undertaker? So
yep. I mean,
have a sense.
Really, looking at the last weekend, Brock Lesnar put Obafemi over.
Yeah. And he actually had raised his hand in the center of the ring. That's how you get the next generation ready. And there are people who, some of them that I've shared a locker room with, some of them said, oh, I don't know how I should take this. I don't know if I would want to take this. And I'm just thinking to myself, dude, come on, you're on an independent show in whatever town, and you're saying you are afraid of looking bad in front of like 100 people. You know?
Yeah.
And so it's like the way that I would want to leave wrestling is keep the mindset of this is mostly entertainment.
Yep.
And don't get me wrong, there were times where I was like that too, because people were saying, "Oh, they wanted my gimmick to be like this. They wanted me to do this and kind of like make a joke out of me." And for a while, I was like, "Why would I do that?
Yeah.
Like, what point? Like, what purpose is that?" But if I say something that I don't want to do, I would ask them a question of, "What purpose does it serve?"
Exactly.
If nobody can give me an answer, then that's when I wouldn't do it. But if they say, well, it's because it'll lead into this, and it does this, this, and this, or we're hoping that it will do this, that, and this, then I would be more inclined to do it. But if you can't give me a reason or an explanation as to why something should go how you want it to, or how what's what I'm looking for? If something doesn't go the way, or like if you want me to do something just because, oh, I'm telling you do this, it's like, well, yeah, you may be in charge, but this is also my persona, my gimmick.
Yep.
So if it's something that's going to jeopardize me, I got to kind of protect myself.
Yep.
So that's just kind of how I look at it. Don't be afraid to help like a younger talent. That's the main thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we're pretty much at the end of things at this point. So do you have any upcoming shows or anything at all that you want to give some hype to?
Actually, yes, I do. This weekend I'll be wrestling in Binghamton, New York for it's a festival called Speedy Fest. It's going to be this Friday, this Saturday, and this Sunday. And also on Saturday, I'm defending my One-Up Wrestling Championship in Solvay, New York. It's around Syracuse area of New York. I don't know if some of the people that are watching this are familiar with that area. Also, later this month, I'm going to be wrestling for a promotion called Nickel City Wrestling. I'm also looking at going to Tennessee for some shows. So there's a lot of stuff going on, and hopefully it just keeps going up from there for me.
Nice. You have any words for any upcoming opponents?
Actually, yes, I do. Don't think you're as good looking as me, because my looks are here, yours are here.
That says it all. Well, as far as what we've got coming up on the Throwdown, tomorrow, Thursday, August 6th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, we've got episode 258, and our guest is the living dead girl, Tegan Thorne. Definitely think she's got a unique presentation, and I'm interested to have her on and sort of find out a little bit more about her story. And then this coming Monday, August the 10th, back at the normal 7 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 6 p.m. Central Time, we've got episode 259, and our guest is Illinois-based wrestler, The Savior, David Ali. And at this point, we're actually booked up through the third week in September. So we've managed to kind of hit on a sweet spot of being booked about 6 weeks out, and it's worked out really well. There's definitely some exciting stuff coming up. So definitely keep an eye on my socials because I try to announce guests about a week out. And I've got to say, Sebastian, this has been an absolute pleasure. So thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you for having me on here. This was actually a lot of fun. I really do appreciate you wanting me on your show. It was a huge honor. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. And, you can consider yourself part of the family here. So, anytime you've got something you want to talk about and you want to come back on, just give me a holler and we'll definitely make it happen.
Absolutely. I would love to be back on here.
And, for those of you that have been watching this live, thank you. For those of you that'll be seeing this on replays and such, thank you for that. If you like what we've got going here, definitely do the old like, comment, share, and subscribe. And until tomorrow night at 8 p.m. with Tegan Thorne, be good to each other, love each other, and let's keep throwing down.